Hello guys, welcome to another video, and in today's video we'll be looking at Jesus' answer to the question, who is my neighbor?
For we all to be on the same page, I had to go through Google so that we can all agree on the modern definition of the word neighbor, which means someone that is living close to you. And this is what dictionary.com reveals as the definition. But Jesus, according to the Bible, had a different definition. So let's find out by diving into today's video.
One day, an expert of the law, in a bid to test Jesus, decided to ask him this question: who is my neighbor? I believe Jesus' answer is very vital to us in this present day. So to fully understand the story, we need to go back to what led to that question in the first place. You can find this story in the book of Luke chapter 10 from verse 25 to 37. This expert of the law, trying to test Jesus, said to him, "Master, what shall I do to inherit eternal life?" And Jesus replied him by saying, "What was written in the law?"
The man replied by saying, "Thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy strength, and with all thy mind, and thy neighbor as thyself." The Bible said that in a bid to justify himself, he followed up with this question: and who is my neighbor? Jesus, knowing his heart, desired to answer him by giving him one of the most important stories in life, the story of the Good Samaritan. And it goes like this.
A certain Jew was traveling from Jerusalem to Jericho. Unfortunately, along the way, he fell into the hands of robbers who stripped him of his clothes. They also injured him, and after robbing him, left him half dead. While this man was lying on the road, injured and dying, a priest happened to pass along the way. The Bible said that when the priest saw him, he passed by the other way. The next to pass along the way was a Levite, whose societal role included performing religious duties and also having political and educational responsibilities. Unlike the priest, when the Levite saw him, he came and looked on him, but like the priest, he passed by the other way too. The third person to pass along the way was someone entirely different from the two men that had passed earlier. You see, both the priest and the Levite were his own people and were leaders. These people were in the best position to help this man, but they didn't. Whereas this third person was a Samaritan, and Samaritans were people that were disregarded by the Jews. Culturally, Jews saw Samaritans as inferior and had nothing to do with them. But this Samaritan, upon seeing the injured man, had compassion on him. The Bible also said that he went to him, not waiting for the man to cry out for help first, bound up his wounds, and began tending to the wounds by pouring in oil and wine on the dangerous roadside. The Samaritan set him up on his own beast, that's like putting him in his car, then brought him to an inn, and he continued to take care of him at the inn. But this Samaritan had to continue his journey the following day, so this is what he did. He went to meet the host of the inn and gave him money to take care of the man, instructing the host to add to his tab the extra charges that might be implicated in taking care of that man. Being done with the story, Jesus asked the expert, who among these three was the neighbor of this injured man? And he answered Jesus, "He that showed mercy." Jesus responded by telling him to go and do likewise. And by answering him in such way, he also answered our question as to who our neighbor is. Based on Jesus' answer, a neighbor isn't someone that must be living close to you, though you might be far apart geographically or might be different based on religious beliefs, even having different political opinions. When anyone needs your help and you're right there to provide, do so without holding back. Be compassionate, be available, reach out even when they don't cry out for help. Bind their wounds, soothe the wound, even if it means that sometimes doing so might be inconvenient or outrightly dangerous. Be the neighbor. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like. If you love contents I make, please subscribe and turn on the bell notification. Thank you, and I'll see you next week.